This is Life Transformation Radio. Prepare to engage. Seatbelt activated. Download initiated. Your quantum journey of transformation begins in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. Hi, I'm Rob Actis, best-selling author of The Law of Action, voice actor, business mindset coach, the podcast whisperer, and Mr. Action himself. Here at Life Transformation Radio, we are committed to share more about real life, love, the power of positivity, romance, and of course, laughter. We care about helping others find their internal drive and purpose. We celebrate life's challenges and overcoming them. And on the show, my guests are amazing people who are forces for the good in the world around them and live a life of transformation. My guest today, she does just that. Today, in this episode, Louise Swartswalter and I discuss how to create confidence to succeed and a whole lot more. So if you want to learn how to level up your life, bring in strong confidence, and know that you can do anything, this is the show for you. For over 20 years, Louise has been helping transform lives individually and in groups using a unique multi-dimensional approach, including neuropathy, biofeedback, trauma release work, NLP, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go into all of that. It's just so much. Oh my God, she's amazing. She's my friend. She's the creator of the Brain System, and it's a 5-step transformational program serving clients worldwide. Louise, welcome to Life Transformation Radio.
Oh, it's so great to be with you, Rob. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Absolutely. Glad to have you here. So we're all about transformation, and you've been doing this for, 25 years now, right?
Yeah, pretty long. Yeah. At least 25, maybe 30.
All right. So what was the transformation? Where were you before you got into all this work? So I want to hear just how this all evolved to where you are today.
Yeah. You know what? I was actually a teacher. So I was a special education teacher. I love teaching. I love my kids. And then I got really sick after my son was born, and I crashed, and no doctors could figure it out. So I ended up on that whole stream of just kind of doctor hopping, if you will. Medical didn't have answers for me. I ended up in the world of natural health and healing, everything from chiropractic to acupuncture. I mean, you name it, I did it. But I was still really sick. I was on oxygen for about 3 years. This happened after I had 14 mercury fillings taken out in one day. So I already had chronic fatigue. I had all those labels: chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, lupus, MS. They really just didn't know. So it was really, it was put back in my hands. I had to find the answers. And at the time, I had 2 small kids at home. I just wanted to be their mom. I looked in their little faces, and I still look at Andy, and he's 33 now. And I go, you saved my life, buddy. I mean, really, it was really difficult. And so I learned a lot. I learned a lot about health and healing. And just like everyone else, when they have that kind of crash, you think physical body. You think, okay, I got to just get healthy. But what I found on that path, Rob, it's not just about that. In fact, I kept saying to myself, hey, you know what? I'm eating my organic food. I'm taking my supplements. I'm exercising. I'm sleeping well. I have some of my energy back, but I still don't feel like me. And so I was on this journey of seeking, I call it your soul's truth.
I like that.
And so I ended up
doing that. Wait a minute, your soul's truth. I like that. That's very, let me just sit with that for a minute. Soul's truth. I like that. That's very cool.
Yeah. And so now I really help people get back to 100% their soul's truth. And so many people are struggling with not just a health issue, but really purpose. And even entrepreneurs, when they hit a plateau in their business, it's just a sign to clear more trauma.
Yeah.
So now what I found is I had to work with, and so the system, the 5-step system it stands for, it's BRAIN. It's BRAIN, but it's an acronym. And it stands for all the steps that I found on my own healing journey that kept up-leveling my life. So the first transformation was getting my health back, but the second big transformation was up-leveling my life and my business to a whole new vibration. And so that's what I did. And so B is body. It's the body piece, right?
Okay.
Everybody's got to take care of themselves, eat right, sleep, all that good stuff.
Right.
And then R is release. It's releasing the mental chatter, the emotional baggage, and the traumas that get stuck in the spaces of the brain. We heal in the spaces.
I love that. I love that.
So that's what I learned. And it was like light bulbs just kept going off, when you have those little moments. And so I figured out the whole process of clearing the brain and the soul. And that's why I call my work Brain Soul Success. And so the releasing piece is huge. The A in brain is aligned with spirit, because spirit's always a part of healing.
Yeah.
And then I is integrate your brain frequencies to your soul's true purpose. I also found that people who are not doing well in whatever area, whether it's physical or mental or emotional, usually don't have a purpose. So it's about helping find purpose. And then N is new program. And so I'm spelling BRAIN, brain. And the new program, I love that part. It's upgrading your brain, your energetic field to where you want to be. It's putting in a new program like you would in a computer.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that when we do those 5 steps, people's lives literally change, and it's faster. I was always looking for a faster way. And my joke now is, if I can find a faster way and I just could wave a magic wand, let's just do it.
Okay. Question. Do
Yes.
their lives change or do they transform?
Like that question, Rob. I believe they transform.
Nice. That feels really
kind of like a snake peeling its skin.
Yeah. Or a butterfly appearing out of a cocoon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So one of the things you do is you do biofeedback. And I think that's really fascinating. And I've seen the results. I've seen people. You've worked on me. And explain a little bit more about biofeedback and what that is. Because it's kind of like, it's hard to believe, but it works because people don't realize how we're all energy. We're just energy. And we're not our vessel of our being. We're energy. We're light and energy. And so you tap into that in a really cool, unique way.
Yes. I found biofeedback probably in 2002 or 3. So the first, and I have 5 different programs, and we call them biofeedback, but they're more like bioresonance. And bioresonance does mean that we are working on the energetic body. We're working in the energy field. And your body is actually 99% space. You're only 1%, just a tiny bit physical, because our spiritual body and our soul body is huge. And you have an energetic field around you that goes out to the stars and out to the sun or the moon. Like, it's huge. So what really happens when we're using bioresonance or biofeedback type programs? And, today there's like so many of them. When I started in this world, there was only like one that I knew of. So I started with the SCIO, which was put together by Dr. Bill Nelson. And it was amazing. And what I saw that all my clients would come back so much better, happier, more aligned, more intuitive, besides the health issues that it would take care of. And so now I could send long distance frequency to groups. So when I figured out I could do it to a whole group, all long distance. So what I mean by that is, yes, everything is energy. And the example that I give is, how do you receive a text message on your phone and your wife doesn't get the same message? Why does it go to your phone? How come you can be in Italy and text somebody in the United States? How does that work, right? I mean, think about that. That's kind of magical, right?
Okay, so you're talking about, you kind of confused me for a minute. So you're saying that, how does a text message come to me as opposed to anybody else in the world, because you have my unique address. And so you tap into the unique address of every human and get that biofeedback to them.
Yes. Yeah. So that's how it works long distance, is I can send frequency or energy to you, your energetic body, anywhere you are in the world, because it's based on your name, your birthday, and your place of birth. There's only one Rob Actis. Now, even if you had a twin, you would have a different name, even if you had the same birthday and the same place of birth.
Right.
So it is a unique number, just like you said. It's your text number is your unique identification number.
It's like our web address. What's our web address? That's so fun. I love that.
Exactly. And, you know, and I figured out that I could do it to a group. And so my very first group, I think it was 2003, maybe, I don't know, somewhere around there. It was a whole group of ADHD students and kids that I worked with. And that's really where I started because my background was special ed.
I should have been in that class. I should have been in that class.
Oh, you know what? In 3 months, it was an experiment that turned out so awesome. Because in 3 months, not one of those kids was ADHD. They got better grades in school. I put their parents in the program with them. Parents were communicating better. They were like, this is amazing. I remember doing like a vision board experience at the end of the class. And we all got to share. It's where you cut out pictures and you put them on like a poster board.
Absolutely.
And it's about your vision. And everybody finished it in the allotted time and we were able to share. My weight loss group, when we did that, they couldn't finish it. So I helped those kids and those parents create such ability to focus, be on task, get things done. I know you like that. You're the law of action.
I work hard at that. Wow. Yes. So the weight loss did not work?
Well, the weight loss program worked great, but what happened was the vision board activity that I did at the very end, no one finished it because I wasn't working on their brains and on their focus. I was working on weight loss.
So it has to be a full
And I
spectrum.
did that all long distance too. I mean, we had meetings in my office, but I sent frequency every week from biofeedback, and people lost 23 pounds, 20 pounds. It was amazing.
That's fame. That's really.
I always say there isn't anything we can't do, Rob. It's just a matter of figuring out what we need to do.
Well, one of the things that I really have a background in, and I love talking about, is NLP. And I think it's a very misunderstood process with people. How do you use NLP with people, and what's the power of NLP?
Oh, I love NLP. I've combined a lot of things, you know, so I use NLP for goal setting.
Okay.
And so I use really good questioning. And so we get down to a bottom line goal, and the process of putting your bottom line goal in a box. And then I intuit, I figure out the people or situations that have pulled you away from your bottom line goal. And we clear it. We energetically clear it. So the process is called soul tie boxes or brain soul balancing. And that process is huge, like just makes huge changes for people and transformation, because we get to those places in people's lives where they have been made to feel guilty for something they didn't do or have felt invalidated. And when you release that, people can come back to 100% their soul's truth, and it helps them become more confident and reach that next level in their business and in their life.
Wow. So we talk about transformation, and you had a transformation from when you were not well and you were working on your health and stuff. But what was that like in that transformation? How did you know to do what you did, and how did you do what you did, and what was the driving force? Like what got you up in the morning? Why did you create something different and new, and how did you get out of what you were stuck in?
That's a good question. When I look back, my first motivation was to be a mother to my kids.
Yeah,
so how I got up every morning was I needed to be a mom.
Right.
You know, and so I did it. I really did it with God. Honestly, I prayed.
Nice.
Okay. In college, I used to think the Bible was a psychology book. And I still remember having these discussions with a gentleman named Dan way back in college. And I don't know, I like to argue with him, I think. Honestly, because I just felt like he was coming not from a very spiritual place, and yet he was a big Christian. Right. And I was like, that's not that's not truth. And so I think I've always been on a spiritual journey, even if I don't acknowledge it in myself. And when I got sick, that's when I looked to God, and I was like, all right, I surrender. I really can't do this. I need help. I mean, I just want to get well and be a mom to my kids and get my brain working again. My brain, I didn't remember my phone number. It was written in my wallet on a sticky note.
Wow.
This is like 1992-ish, I think, 92, 93.
Wow.
And so I would just look at my kids' faces, and I just really wanted to be their mom. So I kept seeking, and I prayed. And the miraculous thing is, if I got an intuitive hit, I followed it. I listened. And I don't even know why or how. I just know that it was like, okay, because we were living in Chicago. So I became a pesticide activist there. I would get so sick from when they sprayed for mosquitoes. And I knew the woman, June Larson, whose daughter had died from mosquito abatement at a Girl Scout camp. And she lobbied Washington, D.C. to get the little signs in the lawns that said, this lawn has been sprayed with glyphosate. So I became an activist, and we had 14 articles in the paper. I went to our school district where I was a teacher, took my oxygen tank. I lived on oxygen for 3 years, and talked to the board and said, stop spraying the lawns. You're killing the kids. And I was just like mad. I was just like a housewife teacher person on a mission. And so then it just got so bad that I had to leave. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I cannot live here anymore. I can't breathe here. It's not good for my family, my kids. And we ended up in Taos, New Mexico in the mountains. And it was magical. Every day, we got there in July, and that was 1994. And in those days, we had what we call the monsoons here. And
we have it here in Arizona. We had one last night. My backyard is destroyed, so... Yeah. We had one last night.
Rain? I'm sorry about your backyard.
No, we got a lot of wind, and there's been some monsoons over the last couple of days. They did helicopter rescues in Scottsdale, and people were flooded. Wow. It's been really intense. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's really. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, it's just part of Arizona, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, there's things everywhere, Yeah. So that's what, but the monsoons that we had were rain, and then the sun would come out and we'd see double rainbows every day.
Oh, yeah.
And nice. I felt like I was in this, and New Mexico, if you don't know this, is the land of enchantment. Or the joke is the land of entrapment. You can't leave once you get here because it's beautiful. The mountains are beautiful, but we would see these double rainbows every day. Now, I came from living on oxygen in Illinois, not feeling good, 89 pounds, to this foreign place with, different weather in the mountains, different altitude. And every day we would see these double rainbows. And I felt like I was in heaven, like I was in some magical place. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Well, we were talking about strong self-confidence, and that's something you definitely had to have because, that's a you can do anything attitude. So that's what you did when you were before the board and really championing that fight against the pesticides. How does one tap into their self-confidence and know that they can do anything?
It's really about getting back to 100% your soul's truth. What I found over these 25 years is you've got to clear the traumas that are stuck in the brain and the soul. And they're not only just stuff that happened in your lifetime, because somewhere along the line, even if it was like a school situation where you were bullied on the playground, that's stuck. And that creates a cellular memory like bump or lesion in the brain. And the doctor that proved that, Dr. Hamer, actually took scans of people's brains and found different traumas that he connected to different illnesses and cancers. And so I figured out how to clear those traumas that are stuck in the brain. So when you talk about getting your confidence back and being able to do anything and have that I can do attitude, that I can do attitude comes from you clearing all the past traumas that have happened to you or your ancestors. So for me, and I didn't even know this when I learned this high-level energy work, I had a lot of fear. So I actually was so chemically sensitive that I wore a mask. And this is like 1993. And I felt really funny going into stores with a mask. I had to go shopping and get groceries and do the stuff I needed to do as a mom. And there were some stores I couldn't go into, but I thought it was so funny when people wore masks now. Like, I thought, wow, there's flowered ones and pretty ones, and all this stuff is happening with COVID. Did God give me some kind of weird message that I was at the forefront of things and I didn't even know it?
Wow.
Those were my questions.
Wow.
For myself.
So having a can do anything attitude, how does one dig deep inside them to make that happen?
Oh, there's lots of processes you could use. Certainly NLP, journaling, and asking yourself good questions. So self-talk is so important, and all the mindset people teach this too. What we tell ourselves matters. But often we have a shadow voice that's saying, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. That's too hard for me. Oh no, that's not me. I'm not like that, right? And we've got to clear the energy around that block. And it's really, again, an ancestral pattern or block. Mine was fear. I didn't know I was carrying so much fear. So when we cleared fear with this high level energy work that I'm actually going to be teaching in Carlsbad, California coming up, I threw up all Saturday night. I thought it was something else. It wasn't. I was clearing fear for my entire family line, generations back. And then when I started using that energy work and I was doing those integrations and these codes for success with this energy work, I had people in my office throw up and I had to go get the garbage can. So it's so powerful when you clear on a deeper level those things that are those blocks that are holding you back that often you don't even know are there. More people, though, right now, I just talked to a beautiful woman the other day, are really starting to understand and question, hey, I don't feel like me. I'm healthy. I went and did this functional medicine doctor thing and I've got my supplements and I'm doing this, but I still don't feel like me. It's really the journey of the soul.
Wow. Huh. So when someone looks at you, what do you want them to see? If I'm looking at Louise and I'm like, I just want to get who you are and really truly see you, what do you want me to see?
I want you to see the compassion I have. So I'm very compassionate. I always say people first. So it's compassion and it's smarts. I guess I would say I didn't give myself credit for being intelligent, but I am. So I want you to see the intelligence and I want you to see the brilliance of what I put together that can help your life on a deeper level, because you're going to keep searching and then they end up back doing brain soul work. It's just deeper.
Wow. Now you have an event coming up. I'm going to be there, much I'm excited to be. We're going to be kind of like doing some tandem stuff and changing some lives, but tell me a little bit more about what's going to happen at this event.
Oh, I'm so excited. So we're going to be on the beach in Carlsbad, California, right on the beach. And what we're going to do is we are going to experience and learn what we call the miracle integration. And an integration is a process of using codes. Numbers is a universal language. And what these codes do, they're codes for success, is they shift the old programs in your energy field and allow you to have a deeper relationship with yourself. This is where that confidence gets built. And it clears 7 generations back and 7 forward. When I learned this work, I came home and my family changed in 6 days. And I was blown away. But they didn't change. Rob, I changed. It was so cool. And that's what I cannot wait to share. I'm so excited to share all this with everyone, because once you learn this, you are literally transformed forever. So this isn't like one of those events where you just go and you listen to speakers and you come home and you're high and you're great for 2 weeks and then you go back to your comfort zone. Everything I do sticks. I always say results count or don't do it.
I like that. Well, if you're interested in this event, it's going to be in Carlsbad, California. Super excited. I'm going to be there along with Louise. You can go to her website at louiseswartswalter.com. And Louise, thank you so much for being here today. What a treat.
This has been fun. Really, really fun. I just love what you're doing, Rob. Thank you so much for what you've been helping everybody with here and helping people take action and really grab that confidence piece. Yeah, get their confidence up so we can move forward in the world. It's all about that. People need people.
I'm glad to call you a friend. Thank you.
I'm happy to call you my friend too. Thank you.
And thank you so much for your support and taking time out of your busy and precious day to listen. We so appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me, along with my very special guest, to touch your heart, move your soul, and inspire you to live a life of transformation. I'm Rob Actis. Until next time.
This is Life Transformation Radio. Download complete.